Call the meeting of the Bay County Veterans Affairs Committee to order Tuesday, July 16th, 2024, 3 p.m. Bay County Building, 4th floor chambers. Roll call, please.
Von Beek.
Here.
Troy Stewart, present. John Van Tol. Here. Van Digby. Excuse.
Didn't hear from him.
I have not either.
No.
And Tim Eckstein. Here.
Okay. Pledge of Allegiance. Ayes, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have the minutes from 5/21/24.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll second.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No problem.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have citizens input. Too many citizens here. Citizens input. Citizen input will close. Petitions and Communications. I don't have any at this time. I do have a report later on about the conference I just came back from in Tampa. It was the National Association of Counties, but they have a Veterans and Military Service Ad Hoc Committee, and I got some updates from that. I'll do that at the end. Any reports or resolutions? We have the Q2 statistics. Mark, did you want to present those?
Mr. Chair. So just so you know, as you're looking at the second page of that, the county service officer one, that's actually the form we use for the state. So you have to look at the Q3 because the state runs on fiscal year where the county runs on calendar year. So if you're looking for the statistics for this quarter, need to look in Q3 on that last report.
Okay.
Otherwise, the rest is for Q2.
Okay. Any questions about the report? Otherwise, a motion to receive be in order.
Well, I got a question on food vouchers.
Okay.
According to the report, they gave out 17 food vouchers, but only 7 of the recipients returned receipts. So what do we do about the other 10 that didn't follow the guidelines of the program?
So
Yeah.
two thoughts since we've had that conversation. One is that we don't always get them back in a timely manner, and some arrive later. So there may be 1 or 2 more that have been received. Otherwise, per the policy that you had started and where it is in for review, they get 3 chances. The first time is tell them to bring back the receipt. The second time, if approved, is 6 months suspension, and the third time is a year suspension from the program.
I thought we had something like that.
Proposed.
I would propose to increase the timeline for suspensions. If you can't follow the guidelines, you have the time to come and get the assistance, and then, oh, I forgot once, okay. Then you get your warning, and then the next time, oh, I forgot again. And the timeline should be longer before they're eligible to come back, is what I'm saying.
And I certainly will be happy to forward that to Amber, up to Corporation Counsel for review.
Because as soon as, it's just like 3 strikes, you're out for 3 years to me.
Okay.
Is the 6 months of 1 year already in there, or is that proposed at this point?
It's in the proposed guidance.
So John, you're saying we should increase that?
I feel it should be increased, because that same individual that's coming to get help through the veterans relief here has a next door neighbor in the same situation that doesn't get this opportunity to get the extra assistance. So it's not fair to the people paying the tax for the people not to follow the guidelines. Yes, sir.
What if somebody, under the current proposed policy, becomes eligible again after 1 year suspension, but then they've got 1 chance and you're done?
Yeah, I'd go with that too.
Just 1 and done instead of 2.
1 and done.
I don't think that's a bad idea. And what's the timeline for them to bring the receipts back, Mark? Do they have a month, 2 months?
We always tell them, bring it back before the next time. We always say, bring those back.
Out of the 35 there, do you know how long ago the last one was that you gave us a food voucher?
We just got one the other day that just came back from
And that would be
the
included?
first quarter.
That's first quarter. So
So when you say,
So we're 3 weeks into past the second quarter, and you still have some that, now, you only have 7 received of the 35
Yes,
through.
I believe so.
I think that's more than reasonable. I would say 2 weeks. If you don't give them 2 weeks, you're probably not gonna get it.
all right, but you said before they get another food voucher. So are they coming back every 6 months for food vouchers?
Quarterly.
They're coming back quarterly for food vouchers, but they can't remember, they can remember to come back to get more assistance, but they can't remember to turn in their previous food voucher to make sure they're not purchasing dog food or motor oil or anything else, it's for food. So we have no way to check it before we would authorize another food voucher.
Which is why the first one is a warning.
Yeah, make sure you bring it. I don't have a problem with one warning. But the repercussions for not continuing not to do it should be a little stricter.
Do we have any guidelines from the state or from the VVA?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
No, okay.
And unfortunately, every county does it differently, so we can't rely on how does Saginaw, which doesn't do it, how does Aranac do it, or how does,
Yeah.
everybody's different.
Is this pretty common, Mark? 120%, is that common every quarter that you
It
receive?
varies.
Okay.
There's
but
not,
it's
I can't say one, I could find that
It's not
information out.
50% bringing back then?
It's possible, I could find that out if you'd like, we could run a
I'm
report
just
off of it.
curious.
So it's kind of like hit and miss, like this time I didn't, but the next time he didn't, but then I did.
I
So it's
agree.
not always, is it always,
It's not, no, it's not always the same person who doesn't bring back the receipts.
Right.
Correct.
I agree with Tim, you get one break, and then after a year, that's your one shot, you come back after a year and do it again, but you gotta remember, these are veterans too, they understand the rules and regulations, they understand deadlines, they understand things on time and procedures, so.
So if you wish, I will definitely forward that to
Yeah.
Corporation Counsel.
Or
for-
maybe we even post that too, make it more of a one, you're gonna get a one-shot deal here, you need to bring your receipt back because taxpayers are accountable for this money.
And definitely, once the policy is approved, then definitely.
Approved, yeah.
When we have something to back that up, yes.
Got you, yeah, maybe a while.
You can bring that back. Thank you. Any other questions?
thank you, Mark.
Are you gonna make a motion?
Need that motion receive.
Make a motion to receive.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Old business. Any old business from our previous meeting? It's always good to look back at the minutes because sometimes you find something that we were going to discuss further.
I think we just reiterated that the flag orders had to be done in January to get them back in time, because I know they had enough for this year, but
All right. Okay. New business. And I guess we have actually 2 cases, so we need to add in that second case. So if you want to, I guess,
Yes.
do the first one.
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you, sir. So we have 2 cases today to come forward to the committee. The first gentleman is trying to redo his bathroom. The total amount was $21,500. Unfortunately, he only had a single quote. He was not able, as he said, to get a second one. And he is outside of the current, well outside of the current limitation per the 2019, I'm sorry, I lost the word.
Emergency relief policy?
Yes, the emergency relief as set by the 165% of poverty. So he is well outside of that limitation. So
Yeah.
and is this job already in process, Mark?
this job is in process, yes.
So he found out after the fact that he may be able to get somebody from the Vets Council and applied?
If he
I'm assuming?
applied, correct, yes.
But he's outside of the income parameter, so I would make a motion that we deny this request.
I'll second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Number 2?
Number 2, the gentleman actually came in today as a Vietnam veteran, lives totally on Social Security, slightly outside of the income limitation, but needs a water line, needs to hook up to the city water line. He is off Seidler's Road in Auburn. And unfortunately, this gentleman has nothing left at the end of the month by the time he's paid his bills. Total for that project, Chaz did it earlier today, total including money to the township and to the Bay County Department of Water is $7,663.
Oh, my gosh.
And unfortunately, due to the quality of the water he's getting out of his well, he is buying his own water by the container.
150.
For a motion, and then we can have discussion.
That's something else.
Oh, it is, okay.
You have a motion
I make
for,
a motion
or,
that we
600.
approve the water line
okay,
payment.
okay. Any support? Discussion? No. Tim, okay, any other discussion that we pay for the water line for 7,000?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mark, was most of that was the labor to put it in, the
Yes.
fees for the county?
It's $5,000 to Beaver Township, and then it was, 2663 to the Bay County Water and
Did
Sewer.
he previously have a well, is that what you said?
He has a well, yes.
But he has to get a water line run. 'Cause-
Well, the well apparently is not good. It's not a good quality,
Not good water.
and it's,
Even if-
so drilling another one would probably cause the same
Yeah,
problem.
I'm sure it's expensive, yeah, I agree.
In the area, the water is not going to be good even if he
Yep.
drills another one.
And this would not put a strain on the emergency relief
Gotcha, no, I
funds
think,
that are available for the rest of the year.
I agree with that one.
Should not put a
Is there a
strain.
second, was
Yeah,
there a second?
yeah, Tim second.
Oh, I'm sorry, thank you,
Yeah. Any further discussion?
sir.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We approve that one. Okay.
Thanks, sir.
You.
50%. That's not,
Then we have Chaz Fowler, new emergency relief coordinator. How you doing?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair.
Yep.
Members of the committee. I'll introduce myself, Chaz Fowler. I took over for Gary Bowersock as the emergency relief coordinator. It's my pleasure to do so. I've had an extensive history on the educational side of things with the VA, and I already liaised with many of the groups in the community, both in Bay County and abroad. So I have a general understanding of how the VA operates in some of the roles that I still will be learning and undertaking. I just want to say that so far as I have had a very limited time in the office, I've had a great time. I've had great coworkers. I have had great leadership to just make me feel comfortable in how much information I have to uptake, both the scope and breadth of it. There are many different processes in the office, and I want to also say that it's my goal to automate or at least increase the efficiency administratively of the office, because there are many tasks that could be reduced in kind of a redundant manner, and equally they could just be consolidated and better organized. So that's going to be my personal penchant that I bring to the table.
Veteran Service Officer, do you have the training, or do you need to go to further training?
I do need to go to the training that will take place in September at Higgins Lake, and currently I am working on getting the personnel, the access card, the PIV card for the VA, and I will work through the training. It's supposed to be 40 hours, so that'll probably take me, I would assume, 2 weeks. Probably under. Generally, I'm just speaking because my actual role is only 29 hours. I am a part-time employee. So if I were to be assessing that based on that, it would take me 2 weeks. But after that, we see no hindrances as to why I would not gain access, and just smoothly move forward.
Online, is that some of it online training?
It is
or-
generally most of it.
Most of it, yeah. And then a test, I think they have a test too, don't they?
They do.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions?
welcome aboard.
Yeah.
What's that? Sorry.
Welcome aboard.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you. I
guess we
appreciate
don't
it. Yeah,
need to
no,
really
glad to be
vote,
here.
Since he's been appointed already, he's been appointed by county executive. So, welcome aboard, yes.
Thank you.
And then we need to authorize emergency relief approval up to $750 for Mr. Fowler to be authorized to allow.
I'll make the motion to allow Chaz Fowler to approve up to $750 for emergency relief.
I'll second.
Okay. Discussion?
It'll be discretionary
Yeah.
at his discretion.
Yeah.
Sorry, if I may, Mr. Chair, yeah, so that still has to go through the director for signature. He doesn't get carte blanche, and none of us get carte blanche to say, yes, it still has to go and be approved by.
So he, at his discretion, he can forward on.
Right.
Yes, for approval.
Okay.
For signature, yes.
He says, I think this should go forward.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think it's too much or something I can deny.
so you could,
Yes.
right. No, I think that's pretty reasonable.
Good second row. That's good.
No, it moves things faster.
Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Any miscellaneous? Announcements, I'll do the announcements. So National Association of Counties has a Veterans and Military Service Committee, pretty active. We met on, what day was that, Saturday, they're sort of blurred together, we had a lot of meetings. July 13th. The first session was connecting veterans to careers in county government. Oh, got one already. It's a program to find jobs for veterans in county government if there's some available. There was a panel, they had a panel discussion, and I think the leader of it was from Amazon, so she's sort of the headlining it for Amazon and working with this committee. We had somebody from the Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, actually a veteran from Texas. There was a Hiring Our Heroes Chamber of Commerce Foundation person, and the Executive Director for Outreach, Transition, Economic Development, U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. So it's a nationwide project to find jobs for veterans in county government. We had a building and thriving military community in your county. Talked about military installations. They talked about MacDill Air Force Base down in Tampa. Meeting was in Tampa, so they have an active program at MacDill. The county interacting with the Air Force, and they had the deputy commander of Mission Support Group MacDill. MacDill has the Southern Command, so strategic operations, some operational center there. And so they work with MacDill and collaborate with them on programs. We had a best practices for serving veterans, lessons from Hillsborough County. And this tied in also with that program at MacDill, benefits assistance, veteran service officers, talked about the program that Hillsborough has. They have a large veterans population because of the Air Force Base and nice weather also. Except it was about 90 degrees and humid when we were down there in July, so it wasn't that nice, but they had a federal update, an open discussion, Operation Green Light. So we maybe need to talk about doing that again. That'd be for Veterans Day to make it more aware. I think we had a resolution last year.
Every year, yeah, we've been doing that where we
Bring that
put the
forward.
green lights on the county building. It's a great thing, Operation Green Light. So we'll have to get going on that soon.
They're trying to get some legislation about Operation Green Light to focus on it a little bit more. So that will be one of their goals. So it was a good session, and they're working for veterans at the national level too for any legislative things that come through. They have a committee that works on that. So, any other announcements?
I'd just like to go back to the quarterly report from Mark and just say they're doing a great job, and the volunteers that transport the veterans,
Yeah.
they're doing an outstanding job. And I can't say enough about Bay County's commitment to the veterans. They have a good office, they do the best they can, and our volunteer drivers, they do a great job. They're greatly appreciated.
I agree. Everybody's doing a wonderful job.
Yeah, they
Can't
do.
thank everybody enough.
And you always see our drivers at the VA when you're there. They're there all the time.
I haven't heard much from them lately, so, they haven't come by for new telephones or whatever, so I guess things are going
Yeah.
pretty well.
Everybody's
Vehicles, they have
everybody's doing a great job.
Their
Company has-
vehicles are pretty good shape, we're still getting, I remember my days driving, it's you start early in the morning, go late at night, and the lift van's always a fun one to drive, to make sure you turn off the battery to the lift van before you go in, because you come out and it's not on, and then you don't have any battery. So I learned a hard lesson one time. Let's see.
Mr. Chair, I got one
Yeah.
announcement. The people at Baptist Church, 701 West Midland Road, I guess every year they have a meal for veterans around Veterans Day. They stopped by this week and put this card, we have all these cards in our office, and they just encourage the veterans to show up to their service at 11 a.m. on November 10th. And they got a free gift for every veteran in attendance. So I just want to make sure that's known. We have a lot of cards in the office, and I can give you gentlemen one here at the end. And just want to thank them for doing that.
Yeah. Mark, you had something?
Sorry, Mr. Chair, one thing that Chaz had actually mentioned, so we will be gone the second week in September from Wednesday to Friday, I believe, for our annual training. This is through the American Legion up at Higgins Lake, and actually the American Legion will be accrediting Chaz, pardon me, to the VA for us, so that we don't have to try and find him training otherwise to get him his accreditation training. So that's why this is important.
Yeah.
And it's required from the VA that we both do 16 hours a year as VSOs
Okay.
of training. So we will be gone those 3 days.
Okay. Any other information? I'm trying to think what's coming up veterans-wise. There is the POW MIA ceremony, so we used to tie it in with the River of Time, but they moved it to someplace else. So actually they were having theirs on the fourth Friday. The actual date is the third Friday in September, is the actual date for the POW MIA. So we plan to have that again at the helicopter. So everybody's invited. It's usually at 7 o'clock at night. So whatever the date is of that third Friday of September. And we'll have the ceremony there for about half an hour or so. And then I guess Veterans Day will be coming up November 11th. We'll have ceremonies here at the county building. And don't know of any other activities coming up besides. So if anybody wants to organize a trip to DC for the November 11th ceremonies, it's always a good time to go. We went a couple times. They have the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in the morning, and then they have the wall ceremony in the afternoon. So there's 2 ceremonies that you can attend, and then a lot of other activities. They have the Marine Corps race on the 10th, November 10th. So if you try to get around the Iwo Jima Memorial at that time, it's pretty hard to get there because they have it walled off with the runners. So it's a good time to be in DC that time of year. That's all I have, unless anybody else has any announcements. Any other citizens' input? Don't see any. A motion to adjourn is always in order.
Second.
Okay. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.